Hey everyone, so these are OggyKnobbs frame sliders on the Honda CBR650F, and I wanted to upload a quick video to show these because I think they're one of the best frame sliders out there for our bikes, and I think that they're often overlooked by people on the market. This is model OK552, which I purchased directly from OggyKnobbs via eBay. They have a couple of different ways that you can order through them, but here in the US, that was the easiest. For me, I ordered these in 2015 and the cost at the time was $189 US. I'm not sure if that has changed in the meantime. Nowadays, there are a lot more options available for our bikes, but back in 2015 when I purchased this, there were really only maybe 3 companies, I want to say, that were making frame sliders for these bikes. And the reason why I went all the way through the hassle of ordering these from Australia is because these were really the only one, at least the only one with a design that I liked, that had 2 attachment points here and here tucked behind the fairing. And that just seems to do a much better job, where if you do have an impact, then you're not going to just bend this bolt here and then thereby do even more damage than if you didn't have a frame slider to begin with. So really the principle of having this really beefy steel frame with dual attachment points is why I went with this model versus the other competing ones. Plus I really liked the cylindrical classic design of these versus some of the other ones that are a little more decorative and modern. So of course any frame slider has the goal of hitting the slider before critical parts of your bike get damaged in a tip over. And these do a fair job of that. And they stick far enough out that you can actually rest the back of your legs or the bottom of your feet on them during extended journeys, and that helps you kind of stretch out when you're in that sport bike position. I should probably stop apologizing for how dirty my bike always is, but hey, this thing actually gets ridden. Purpose of this view here is this bike has been over on its side a couple of times. Twice it fell over in my garage, and once doing some low-speed maneuvers in a parking lot, just kind of pushing the limits and getting comfortable early on. And this shows where the contact points actually happen. So this has been ground away just a little bit. It's actually less than it looks here. I cut the decal because it looked a little silly when it was half hanging on. So there's very minimal actual loss of plastic here because, again, this wasn't like an accident. It was just sort of a low-speed tip over. It does show that you still get a little bit of damage to the side here, and there's maybe the faintest amount of plastic scratching here, but for the most part, everything else is undamaged, and I'm pretty satisfied with that level of protection. It's not perfect. It's not going to totally prevent it from being scratched, but if you did go down at a decent speed and you're sliding, then that could really make a difference. And so I really liked kind of the insurance of having this on track days. I was a little nervous at first when I got these because I knew that they required a very minor cut to the fairing, but as you can see, it's really minimal, and you can get this with a box cutter. It's quite easy. They give you a little bit of a rubberized tubing here to kind of soften that sharp edge, but you really don't notice this at all, and that's a minor trade-off, I think, for the ability to have those 2 attachment points and give you that extra stability versus instead of just screwing something in here, which I really don't think is a very good idea. So that's kind of it. I have no affiliation with this company. I paid full price, blah, blah, blah. I just wanted to put this out here because I really like these. I think they look good on the bike, and there's really not that much information on the internet about these, and they're not very common, at least in the US. And I think that they're a good purchase, and you might want to keep that in mind if you're on the market for frame sliders for the CBR650F or any related bike. Thanks for watching. Obligatory, please consider subscribing to this channel if this content is helpful for you. I really appreciate it, and it helps me grow this channel. I've been making CBR650F videos since I bought this bike in 2014, and I hope that it provides a little bit of value to the community out there. Thank you all for watching. Stay safe out there.